Hello, YouTube community. I have not done a reading on here in quite some time, and I was literally thinking about how I wanted to get back into posting on here more frequently, and then somebody actually left a comment, I think it was yesterday or the day before, saying they wished I post on here more, and I was like, okay, that's a huge sign, so here we are. I have no idea what we're looking into today, but I was drawn to this tarot deck and this oracle deck, so I'm just going to take this as like an urgent message of what you need to hear at this moment. Those of you that don't know this already, I had two separate cards from this tarot deck survive two separate hurricanes, which always gives me this energy of like a really strong, powerful being. So you've been through some shit, but you still came out on top. All right. The song Lies, Lies, Lies by Morgan Wallen just pulled me in. Never listened to it, but it did just pull me into my YouTube. So as always, we are going to hit shuffle, and the first song to come on is Yo, Excuse Me Miss by Chris Brown. So there could be a message in that for you. But let's get it. What does the YouTube community need to hear today? Please, Spirit. That was actually so fucking fast. What else? Okay. Interesting. Some of you, I feel like you need to break free from some anxiety, and it's coming from a need to control. It's coming from that, like, the King of Swords to me, I've said this a million times, don't ask me why I feel this way, but it always gives me, like, a little bit of narcissistic, kind of cold energy, and I feel like it's because he tends to be more logical than intuitive. Some of you are definitely closing out a really tough cycle pertaining to, like, not being able to see beyond the black and white, okay? We also have the Strength card at the bottom of the deck, which, of course, as you can probably tell, is one of the cards that survived the hurricane. So, like I said, you've been through some shit, but you're still pretty powerful. You still came out on top of all of that. I do feel like some of you, this involves either an abandonment wound or a poverty mindset that you are breaking free from it. Excuse me, at this time. Confirmation. Yeah, there's a decision that this collective needs to make. Interesting. Alright, so for some of you, this involves a family. I am picking that up with the 10 of Cups energy. This could be your immediate family. It could be like a blended family. Take it how it resonates. But there's a need for you to acknowledge some truth about the amount of burdens that you're carrying pertaining to whatever this is, okay? Like, I feel like this collective is feeling really bogged down by the energy, is what I'm hearing. And I feel like you have been facing a lot, hello, I can't even pick this up. You have been facing a lot of challenges and a lot of obstacles when it comes to your life. But those challenges that you faced were meant to, like, help you recognize your own perseverance and your own strength. But I feel like at this moment in time, it's almost doing the opposite, is what I'm hearing. And it's because you're not acknowledging the burdens of other people and the responsibilities that you're carrying that you truly don't need to carry, my love. Like, it's time for you to put some of these down. It's time for you to delegate and, like, acknowledge where you're carrying the weight of other people, where you're carrying their stuff, is what I'm hearing, okay? Because, like, the 7 of Wands, when it shows up, it's meant to show you your perseverance. It's meant to show you, 1, that you're heavily protected, 2, that you can overcome any obstacle that's put in your path, and 3, it does usually indicate challenges and obstacles. And I feel like you have been facing a lot of adversity as of lately, but for a lot of you, it's because you're ignoring the truth about something that you know you need to be honest with yourself about. Something about the way that this one is dressed as well, like the woman on this card, there's something about that that's important. Your sense of style, or something about, like, someone's sense of style could be something. What's interesting is I'm seeing, like, a masculine who really likes a feminine sense of style, like how she dresses. He really digs, like, her aura, first of all. But it's also, like, your fashion sense is what I'm hearing. I don't know, take it how it resonates. I feel like there's a choice that needs to be made here, and it pertains to this energy of the 10 of Cups. So for some of you, I am seeing, like, a masculine energy who's going through some sort of an ascension, that's recognizing some truth about a karmic connection they've been invested in. And if that's you, it's time for you to make a decision and remove your blindfold. It's time for you to see the truth about the karmic connection that you've been investing your time and energy into, and acknowledge how energetically drained and exhausted you are. And if you're not the masculine in this sense, then you're a feminine going through a similar cycle, and you're recognizing a lot of truth about why you date the people you date. And I feel like it all boils down to this energy here. I just reposted on TikTok a video about how if you don't heal your inner child, you're gonna face that trauma in relationships. And it's true. Like, if you don't remove that blindfold, if you don't look at the truth of the things that created the person you are, that are trauma-ridden, you're going to continue to date those types of people. And it's never going to evolve, it's never going to move forward until you acknowledge the truth about the hurt that you feel. I feel like this collective has a tendency to avoid their feelings. You have a tendency to stay blinded to the truth because you don't want to admit it, for whatever reason. What is this song? The song Honey by Kehkani, and it's 12:22 p.m. where I live as well. So, like, there could be a significance to that angel number. But I feel like a lot of you really need to acknowledge some truth about the things that are burdening you, especially because, like, this is going to be clarifying that 10 of Wands as well, right? So, like, the 2 of Swords to me is about a choice that needs to be made. It's a tough decision too, and I feel like you need to weigh out the pros and cons of it all, but you can't do this with a clear mind, is what I keep hearing on repeat. And part of the reason why is because you were truly allowing yourself to be blinded by whatever truth this is. You're allowing the weight of the world to take the pressure on you, is what I keep hearing. I feel like this collective, like, you need to remove this blindfold. You need to acknowledge the truth about what this burden is. And honestly, for a lot of you, it has to do with something you know in your heart of hearts that you need to walk away from. This is a really brutal cycle, is what I just heard, okay? And then we also have the 7 of Wands clarified by the 10 of Cups. This is giving me the indication that, like, that divine love you desire, that divine love that your inner child has been craving, it keeps trying to manifest for you, but the challenges that you keep facing and the obstacles that keep being put in your path are because of this energy over here. This is my collective of unrequited love. 555 on the timer, that's confirmation. So what you tend to do is you tend to overexert yourself in relationships. You give and give and give, but you don't receive equally. And this is because, 1, this is what you grew up seeing in your family. And 2, your childhood trauma seeps into your connections where you're so deeply afraid of being abandoned that you would rather give your all in a relationship and be burdened and drained emotionally, financially, physically, mentally, because you want that person's validation. There's a part of your ego that seeks validation from toxic people, and you need to figure out where that's coming from. I know I'm kind of calling this collective out, but, like, ultimately this is being called out for a reason, okay? And a lot of you, you know you need to walk away from this. Like, this is how this connection is making you feel. You feel very anxious. You feel very bogged down. You're constantly, some of you could even be having a hard time sleeping. You're constantly in your head, and it's because you are not acknowledging the truth about what this is meant to be teaching you. You keep trying to give your all to something that was only meant to be short term. And I know that's hard to hear, my love. I do. But at the end of the day, it's so much better to walk away from this, feel the pain that you need to feel when it comes to the disappointment, the abandonment, the withdrawn energy. Acknowledge the truth of the feelings that you're feeling, observe them and release it so that you can move forward. You can shift into a higher vibration. Because the more you hold on to all of this energy, the more you're going to continue to be in this vibe with the 9 of Swords. Some of you are definitely having a hard time sleeping. And it's because you know you need to make a tougher decision, but you're avoiding making it. Your need to control is a huge blockage as well, which makes sense because, like, look at how this is coming out too. Like, the 4 of Pentacles being clarified by the King of Swords. I mean, hello. Like, the King of Swords to me is very, like I said, he's very cutthroat. He's very logical. He's very in his head. He has a tendency to be a little bit more narcissistic than open. And I feel like part of what you're starting to come to terms with is the aspects of you that try to control the narrative. You try to, like, they're showing me a little kid trying to force puzzle pieces together that truly just don't fit. And, like, you know that this connection, you know that you're investing into something that isn't really giving to you in the same energy, but you keep forcing it because of your abandonment, because of your fear of being alone, because of your need to have connection. But what you're not seeing is your need to have this connection is actually blocking something beautiful from manifesting for you, and it's causing more harm than good. I feel like the other thing here, especially because the 5 of Pentacles is so close to this, there's a really big emphasis on needing to save your money right now. There's a need for you to be more conservative when it comes to your finances, and that's where you need to embody the King of Swords energy. When it comes to your finances and your stability financially speaking, you need to look at it in a more logical and practical standpoint versus the frivolous way that you've been, is what I just heard. What is this song? The song Beware by Big Sean, just throwing that out there. I do feel like this collective's going through a really big rebirth. So no matter where you're at in this journey right now, whether you are starting to accept this truth, whether you're still having a really hard time removing that blindfold, they are showing me an image of someone burying their face in the sand. So, like, wherever you're at in this journey, okay, it is shifting, especially with the Judgment card being here. It's like you're finally starting to recognize the only way through this energy is to face it head on, is what I just heard. I do really feel like there's a huge rebirth, and, like, this collective starting to embrace their inner calling a little bit more. You're starting to kind of, like, look at the aspects of your past, and you're judging yourself for the things that you did that led you to this energy, is what I'm hearing. This has a lot to do with a poverty mindset and, like, scarcity, is what I just keep hearing on repeat. As well as, like I said, an abandonment wound. Like, this collective is really, really and truly, you're healing a deep, 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 deep abandonment wound. And one of the best ways to heal from a lot of the stuff that you're struggling with is to shift your perspective. So a lot of you are stuck in what's called a lack mindset. And that lacked mindset is actually keeping you stuck in more lower vibrational energy. And what you need to do is kind of take a step back and acknowledge the blessings that you do have. So even though you're losing things, even though connections are ending, even though you might not have as much money as you want, you still have yourself, you still have food, you still have water, or you have access to a house. Like, you need to start looking at the aspects of you, and even if you don't have all of that, you still need to look about the fact that you still have you. Okay, like, there's a need to take a step back and start practicing gratitude for this collective's energy, because the more you do that, the more you're going to be able to shift out of this toxic vibration that you're stuck in. Because you're stuck. That's point blank period. You're stuck in a toxic cycle. And you're stuck in this toxic cycle because some of you are living paycheck to paycheck, and I totally understand it, but you need to break free from that mindset. And part of the way that you do that is you stop saying things like, I'm broke, I have no money, I have no this, I have no that. Stop saying, I can't, I don't, and I won't, and your life will shift. There's also a significance to needing to do root chakra. Okay, like, your root chakra is really out of balance here. There's some sort of truth coming for this collective, though. Something that was left unsaid. So it's interesting. It's like, I'm really seeing a masculine walking away from a karmic energy that has been honestly contributing to that financial blockage. And as you're walking away from it, you're recognizing some truth about someone that you're supposed to be connected to. And I feel like you left a lot of things unsaid. There was unfinished business in this energy. But the more you break free from this narrative here that we just talked about, the more you're gaining the truth about, like, the eternal love that you have with someone. This was written in the stars. A match made in heaven. There is some sort of communication coming. So either, like, you're watching for somebody, or you're that person going towards somebody. Take it how it resonates, but there is some sort of truth coming forward. Honestly, the truth for a lot of you is about to be that this person has walked away from that karmic. That they've moved on, that they're leaving the past behind them. And a lot of you, that's exactly what you're doing as well. You're leaving the past behind and stepping towards a more beautiful future. This person could be a bit dominant. We do have, like, a dom energy coming forward. Someone very confident, someone very assertive. Something about role play and, like, kinky times could be significant as well. Yeah, this is my collective of empaths. So part of the lesson that you're currently learning is, like I said, unrequited love. Like, I'm truly sensing this is a collective of people. Do you see the sun? I'm just throwing that out there. This is a collective of people who, you shine really brightly, and you're very empathic, and you're like a sponge. So you absorb people's toxic energy. So when you connect with people who are in that lower mindset, that's the kind of energy you're going to start to embody. This is partly what you're starting to recognize as you gain more emotional intelligence, as you set more boundaries, as you step more into yourself. You're starting to acknowledge the truth about what it means to be a light worker. There is some sort of, like, protective energy here. I feel like this person, above all else, is a very loyal friend. This is someone you can trust. This is very unconditional love, is what I'm hearing. God Gave Me a Girl by Russell Dickerson. Yeah, there's some sort of confession. I'm telling you guys, this person's about to express a lot of truth to you. There's about to be an unveiling. This could involve a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Doesn't necessarily have to. Yeah, there's an old love interest resurfacing. For a lot of you, this is someone coming towards you, and what we just talked about was what your masculine's been going through. Something about the spring could be important. We also have new love. So for some of you, you have a choice to make between an old love and a new love interest. And I feel like it's going to be up to you what you choose to do. But regardless, like, it's a relationship of a lifetime. For some of you, it's like a friends to lovers situation. So it's not so much that it's like a new interest. It's just someone that you have, like, a friendship with. It's very exciting is what I'm hearing. I do feel like there has been some distance. There's been some separation between the two of you, but I feel like that's on its way out. Yeah. But it's because this person's been going through some shit. The spirit, Spirit wants to say, this too shall pass. Whatever storm you're currently weathering, just trust the process, okay? For some of you, it's because you're really withdrawn. You're feeling really lonely. You're feeling really isolated. You could have been spending a little bit more time in solitude, but, like, your luck is about to change for the better. There's a lot of abundance coming towards this collective, a lot of blessings, a lot of happiness is what I'm hearing. And it's because you're completing a huge cycle. You're allowing for the major changes in your life to unfold, and you're no longer holding yourself stuck is what I'm hearing. Okay, there's definitely no communication between you and this person. It's like they're showing me a standstill, but this is necessary for growth. And I feel like part of, look, as I just said that, part of what is about to change for this collective is this person's about to take a leap of faith. This person's about to make a move and communicate a lot of truth with you. And honestly, it's because they can't stop thinking about you. The other thing I do feel guided to mention, the line in the song just said, I don't deserve her and I don't know why. But overthinking does nothing but disrupt your peace. This is a form of self-sabotaging. You're creating false narratives in your mind that are doing nothing but, like, creating triggers. You know what I mean? When what you need to do is just take a step back and trust whatever is meant to unfold will unfold at its own pace. I know it's really hard to give in to divine timing, but at the end of the day, divine timing is real. And when you try to force things, it's going to make it worse. 444 in the timer. And I do feel like this person is about to take a leap of faith for a lot of you. They're about to come forward and express a lot of fucking truth. But they're still in the process of closing out this self-destructive behavior where they're still stuck in that lack mindset. And until they break free from that, I told you, for a lot of you, this has to do with your divine masculine. Until they break free from that energy, they're not going to be able to come forward in the proper vibration. Okay, so you just need to allow this person to deal with what they're dealing with. And when the timing is right, it will all manifest accordingly, okay? The song People Are Crazy by Billy Currington, sorry. That is what I have for you too. I hope that helps whoever it's meant for, and I'll catch you next time I record.